Welcome back to Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. I'm your host, Caleb.
Hi, I'm Seth. I talk Star Wars with this man.
We're doing a pre recorded episode because last week we had some scheduling issues that we realized last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And this time we are still having those schedule issues, so we figured,
We'd go ahead and do this today.
yeah, and we're going to make it a twofer because we
Mm-hmm.
meant to do one last week. We had it ready. We actually had it ready. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the part that really, it's like, we were ready. So we figured, we'll just read the thing that's this week as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then, so y'all get technically a three-fer because technically one of them is a twofer on its own. Eh. But we like to normally talk about what we've been up to this week outside of Star Wars before we get into the main topics. But we have a longer episode than usual to get through this week to play some catch up. Um, Firstly, let's get into some news real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Only a few pieces of news, nothing major. First, Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles 2027 tickets are going on sale on May 6th at noon Pacific time. Here's the cool poster they designed for it up above there. Or Seth can point to it. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Um, and with the full weekend standard tickets coming out to about $260.99 for April 1st through the 4th of next year is when it's actually taking place, and they will be purchasable on Celebration's website. We would like to go, but we don't got that money. Hey fans, give us my get us the Celebration. I mean, it'd be fun, and plus then we get to actually meet all of our friends from the Star Wars side that we actually know just from the internet and not
Yep.
from real life. Because I know a few of them are definitely going because it's the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. They're doing it in LA, so people want to go to Disneyland as well while they're there, and then on top of that, uh, use that as a chance to go see Star Wars play in theaters because they're going to play the original Star Wars in theaters. With some people thinking it's going to be the original, so like the um the unedited, like because the version of Star Wars we have now is not the version that it was when it first came out
Mm-hmm.
because we have the special editions, right? And that made a lot of changes. I don't know how much you know about that. I'm kind of just I'm Seth's I'm Seth I'm explaining for Seth's case.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to think of a good. I'm Caleb splaining. There we
Mm-hmm.
go. It's not quite mansplaining. It's when I particular go into a Star Wars thing. Um, but to Seth, I'm Caleb splaining. Am I Caleb splaining, or is this actually something you didn't know?
It's something that I know about because of like osmosis and the fact that we've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I know that I think one of the changes is the like Han shooting first thing.
Yeah, that yeah
Because I have distinct memories of him shooting Greedo under the table.
yeah. So the Han shot first thing is a big thing about it. Yeah. So now they shoot at the exact same time. There was a point where Greedo shot first because there were like multiple versions.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the Han shot first, which is the original. Then there was one where Greedo shot first, and then because what George apparently wanted was for them to shoot at the same time. Eventually, they were able to set it up where they can make it where they shot at the same time. And but also in that version now Han kind of does the little neck twitch thing that makes it look like he's got the force for a second.
It's
Yeah, he just shifts. Uh, and so there's speculation that they will play the original Star Wars at the Chinese
mm-hmm.
the Chinese theater, which would be very very special to do on the 40th anniversary, because it would be a few weeks early, but it would still be the 40th anniversary. Cause, but yeah, uh, exciting. If we can't go, we'll still be excited to hear what comes out of it because we're definitely gonna hear more movie news and more TV shows and stuff and books and all that. The good stuff that we always get whenever a Star Wars celebration happens. We didn't get one this year because they wanted to hold off for the 40th, and there's not a lot to really talk about this year because most of the stuff is coming out this year already. Like they ain't gonna show Mando at Celebration. I guess the only thing they could have shown this year was maybe Starfighter if they held one this year. I would have been fine with that. Also, if we don't get to go this for next year, fingers crossed we finally get an Orlando one again, because that's the only one I ever went to was Orlando back in 2017. Telling you how long it's been since I've ever gone to a celebration. It was my first and only one, and it was before I was part of the Star Wars community of content creators. So before I could have done any meetups with anybody, there were probably people there. I just wouldn't have known back then. But yeah. Beyond that, CinemaCon happened a couple weeks ago. We got some Highlander news out of that, but that's for the other podcast. For this one, thanks to CinemaCon, we were able to get some final trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which we will go ahead and watch now. Let me go ahead and swap that to The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Also, you may notice, because of my hair, I don't have any ears. I assure you I do have them, and anyone who says otherwise is slandering me.
Is that a thing that's going on right now? That somebody
No.
said that?
Nope.
Okay, I was about to say, that feels like a Zach thing to say.
We'll know if he watches this because of this specific moment.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
Couple of shots here.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Before
Well,
going into
Sigourney
harm's
Weaver,
way,
unfortunately, that doesn't work out.
check your armor first.
We're protecting everything the rebellion
tried.
fought for.
Good luck.
Hey, Zeb.
You're gonna need it.
Hey,
And
strap in.
We need a professional.
Hang on.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
You good?
I mean, 50-something at this point, you know?
I'll be right behind you. Go. Go!
They're gonna straight up split up.
You will suffer. Then it will be his turn.
Monsters. The old protect the young. And then the young protect the old.
But in this case, who is the young and who is the old? Because Grogu's older than him.
Are you scared? You should be.
Good job, baby.
This is the way.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun. They already sold us pretty quickly. Like, you can't unsell us on this. I don't
It would be
think.
a really weird stance for them to take.
I don't think.
Matter of
there's-
fact, we don't want you to watch our movie.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way they could undo us planning to see this. I think we are for sure going to. I think they did fine with they still haven't shown us too much as far as I can tell. So I think we're good. I think that works out as being the final trailer. No other trailers. We talked about this. We tried to talk about it last week, but because of scheduling, we didn't really get to talk about it with them. But I think they've done 3 trailers really. They did their the short one that everybody does. They did a technically 4, I guess, if you count the Super Bowl one, but that was really just a cute little ad that was like, hey, we're doing a movie. That it wasn't really like a trailer. It was just let's recreate the the Budweiser horse commercials, but with tauntauns. So I think 3 actual trailers is good enough for a movie, and they spaced them out pretty well. I don't think there's any disagreement on your end
No,
here.
I'm not. I didn't see any of what I call trailer lines, and I really don't think that there's going to be any. You know what I mean by like that, right?
So I think I do, but I would like to expound
Okay.
on that. Expand on that.
A trailer line is a line that is said purely for the trailer.
Oh,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make any.
Like it doesn't make sense in the context of the film.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
I don't think there will be any of that from what
I didn't
saw.
really see any of that. Yeah, I think everything kind of makes sense with what's going on. It looks like I think the only new information we've really got is that we kind of got hints of it in the previous big trailer, but in this one we confirm it, which is Mandalorian and Grogu are going to be separated for at certain points of the film, which I think is interesting. I want to see where that goes, because Grogu is growing. Like, we already know that Grogu's not going to say anything because that's been confirmed that Grogu doesn't actually say his first words yet. Still, despite the fact that he's 52, I think at this point, 52, 53.
You need to start pulling your weight, boy.
Because I think we need to get past the infantilizing of Grogu, but also I understand why they want to keep him young, because sells toys. But we eventually, if we're going to advance the plot of that character, he has to get older.
Do you think he'll speak a full sentence by the end of this movie?
No, they already confirmed he's not going to talk. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem, is we know that already. And it's
I would like it if they took the Miyazaki method of just lying.
I forget who confirmed that. I think Kathleen Kennedy confirmed it as part of her exit interview when she stepped down. Kind of upsetting, but also like, I'll get over it. It's one of those cases of, I wish you would move forward on that, but I understand if you're not ready to. It depends on if you plan to have more stories after this with them. If you don't have any actual story, because one of the articles I skipped for this week was Jon Favreau confirming that Season 4 was going to have more ties into Ahsoka Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, now Season 4 is this movie. There is no Season 4 coming. I don't know how heavily we'll start tying in this movie to the Ahsoka series. Obviously, we got Zeb, which kind of ties in because that's adding a Rebels character as a main character to this film, which is all of the main, like, the joke about Ahsoka is that it's a Rebel sequel show.
Yeah.
That's
I haven't seen Rebels, but I'm like, character-wise, the like people that are involved with it, yeah.
it's a sequel show without really being a sequel show, right? It's Dave Filoni going, now I can finally tell you guys what happens after Rebel Season 4. Except I'm also still not going to answer what Ezra and Thrawn were up to when they were in the other galaxy that we still haven't named. It's just other galaxy. Technically, we haven't even named the main galaxy of Star Wars. It's just a galaxy far, far away, and then we got another galaxy. I forget what they call it in the Wikipedia articles. But, yeah, so, like, I think it will still tie in to what's going on with Ahsoka Season 2, because we already know, like, another movie is being planned, which is, like, the canon version of Heir to the Empire. So, the Thrawn trilogy. So, how do we do a canon retelling of that? And I think Mando and Grogu will be involved with that, more than likely. Because Mandalorian and Grogu, the Mandalorian show set off everything that's happening right now in that. So, yeah. That's it really for that. Lastly, book news. We talked a little bit about this on the way. We're getting a middle grade horror novel from Kirsten White called Hiding from the Dark on September 1st as part of the new Star Wars genre initiative to dive into other genres within the book space. Example being the romance book Eyes Like Stars that we've talked about when they announced it. So this is the second book we have heard about it that's part of this little initiative to be like, let's do other genres and not just kind of do the same thing in every Star Wars book, right? Which Legends had a ton of that. Like Legends went all over the place, so it's good to kind of see in canon now they're experimenting. They're like, okay, we've had this for over a decade now. It's been our like we've been having books since 2014. It's now 2026, so 12 years now. Time to start experimenting a little bit with what we got. And so as for Hiding from the Dark, how getting into that, we did get a description. Did you want to read it or?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just highlighted.
All right. Is that an L? No, that's an I.
Bia, yeah.
When Bia's mother, a supply coordination specialist for the Empire, has gone too long on a business trip without checking in, Bia tries to reach her using their secret communicator. Instead, strange men show up at her door and grill her about her mother's whereabouts. But that's nothing compared to what follows them. A tall looming shadow blacker than the darkness with two shiny lifeless eyes, mechanical breathing, and powers unlike anything she'd ever seen. Bia manages to escape and goes to an old friend, Narek, for help. They discover that Bia's mother has been secretly helping the rebellion, and the Empire will stop at nothing to find her. Bia will need to summon a bravery she has never known in order to elude the Empire and their monster from the dark, the living nightmare known as Darth Vader.
Hey, so you know what? I think that's a good way to do, it sounds, so it's a middle grade, so Goosebumps level. Darth Vader as your monster makes sense.
Sorry, I laughed at that. That's actually scary if you're 13 years old and know who Darth Vader is.
Or in this case, don't know who Darth Vader is. That's what makes it more terrifying, is not knowing who he is, because we're going to talk about it when we get into our main discussions for this episode, but the Darth Vader comic makes it very clear of some people don't know who he is because the Empire does that on purpose, or Palpatine does that on purpose rather, where Palpatine's like, what if people don't know who you are? It's like, oh, so we scare them. Yes, got it. I think that'll be interesting, though. I'm excited to read that. That'll be that, and I know that will at least be a fun one for you because you like your horror stories.
I'm telling you, man, make a horror game with Darth Vader.
Just have it be. No, you don't even have to do much. Just take the entire premise of Alien Isolation, reskin the xenomorph to Vader. Done. Or you do a canonized version of Death Troopers. Have zombie stormtroopers on a derelict ship.
Mm-hmm.
Same idea, different,
Some people may think, oh, ocean horror is scary. Have you thought about doing the same thing, but in space?
Where there's absolutely nowhere to go. Because, sure, you can put on a spacesuit, but you ain't getting very far. And where are you going to go? Just jump out of the ship and hope that you end up somewhere that is breathable. In Star Wars, more likely, and in real life, less. In Star Wars, it's more likely you end up accidentally, you'll burn on entry, but oops.
You have a slightly higher than average chance.
Oops. Yeah, okay. So the main, I had to look it up because it was bugging me. Main galaxy in Star Wars is just called the Galaxy, and then the one that's introduced in Ahsoka is called Far Galaxy. On Wikipedia. But moving away from that, let's get into today's topic. The first of two. Hyperspace Stories Grievous. Spoilers ahead. We'll do this. We'll save the third one for. In this story, we follow as Grievous is sent on what seems to be his first mission as truly a general for the Separatist army, and a proving ground for his use to the Sith's plans. We are introduced to Jedi General Cardiff Bay and his battalion of clone troopers as they face off against a group of droids in a plan that would make Skywalker proud. After they manage to flank the droid army, Obi-Wan arrives to tell Bay that he and his battalion are being sent to the planet Katu, I think is what we agreed on. On a rescue mission, as the inhabitants have called the Republic for help after never reaching out to the Republic in a millennium. So, with the politicians wanting a chance at integrating a planet more to their side, they've agreed to send Bay, while Skywalker will continue with the original plans on Covenant. There's a lot of N's.
Yeah.
Covenant. There we go. Covenant. I like that one. Covenant.
My brain, while reading this, simply removed 2 of the letters, so it became Covenant.
Yeah, it's Covenant.
Fuck adding those extra letters.
It's Covenant. And so, meanwhile, Bay and his clone. So Skywalker's going to do their plan that Bay and the clones were going to do. We see on Katu that Grievous has been attacking the people of that planet on his own, allowing for survivors so that word can get out of his attacks. As Bay and his battalion arrive on Katu, Commander Maximus lets Bay know that about his concerns of this being a trap, to which Bay lets him know they need to have faith. Before he can explain that further, they arrive at the location of the distress signal, where the villagers are hiding out rather than being in their village, as Grievous has run them off from their homes. It turns out they didn't actually fully want the Republic's help, but rather just for them to clean up their own mess, viewing the arrival of Grievous and the war as a Republic problem rather than a problem for Katu. Sounds familiar. I think Clone Wars has done this storyline. Bay immediately senses the coldness of Grievous, who is watching them from nearby forest, and agrees to deal with Grievous, only being told that it's a monster they're hunting. Bay and troops immediately run into a problem as they run into kaiju-like creatures they remain unnamed throughout the book. We don't get a name for these creatures. I looked on Wikipedia, no name. As they initially try to sneak by them, Pickaxe, one of the clones, does the traditional stepping on a stick, alerting the beast who attack. Poor Pickaxe.
My favorite dance move, stepping on a stick.
Yeah.
Just, that moment of every media where
it's either a leaf or a stick, or somebody trips.
It's just, I can't blame you for it.
And then it's always oh, they didn't notice. Shit, they noticed. Fuck. We can say that now. We're past the
15-minute.
Yeah, we're on 20 minutes now.
We're safe.
Yeah. Can't get us now, YouTube. Haha. But yeah, so during the struggle to escape, they also notice the creatures have some sort of device attached to them, but don't know what it does yet. The party manages to escape as Grievous watches them from a distance. We then learn that Grievous is the one attaching the devices to the kaiju beast and is using... he's using the device to control them. That night, Maximus and Bay finally continue their conversation about faith and how Bay for himself meant the Force, but also recognizes that faith comes in different forms to different people. This leads to the question of purpose. Something that Bay says, while it's understandable for the clones to specifically be curious about free will and purpose, it's actually something that connects them to everyone, as even though others don't have their purpose told to them from birth, they still also wonder about their free will and purpose in the galaxy. Because that's the unfortunate thing about being a clone. You're kind of born to be a soldier. The end. At least as far as the Kaminoans are concerned. Mm-hmm. But, of course, throughout Star Wars, Clone Wars related, we have learned, no, there's more to clones than that. They are also just people. Ultimately, you have to choose your path yourself, even if you have a guide, whether that's the Force or your literal creators in the clone's case.
Or your weird Kaminoan mom being like, "You're going out to fight and die."
Yeah.
Presumably fight. Don't die, because I don't want to have to make more of you.
Yeah. Actually, no, the Kaminoans don't mind making more because they make more money from the Republic doing that. The Republic, on the other hand, doesn't want to spend as much. Blink is then picked to be the first watch. Thanks to the day's adventures, Blink is a little jumpy with a small critter spooking him before Grievous strikes. Dooku then checks in on Grievous as we learn that having Bay come to Katu was to drive his forces away from the battle on Covenant.
Hey, why are there still clones here, Grievous? Grievous, what the fuck? You sent me here! Why are you getting mad at me for your plan?
Grievous is also getting anxious as he is ready to prove himself a warrior once more and to kill more Jedi. I mean,
yeah,
that is his main, like Dooku's like, you seem anxious. Grievous, it's like, because you're not letting me do what I really want to do. And Dooku's just like, you'll get your chance.
Hilariously, this will mirror a conversation on our other subject for today.
Yeah.
While we didn't initially plan this is actually working out very well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, very funny. I mean, the whole point of Grievous existing in Revenge of the Sith is to be a mirror to Vader. Sort of a Vader prototype. With the machine, is he more machine than man conversation. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So Dooku ends the conversation by reminding him that they all serve masters, hinting to Sidious. But one of those masters is their own selves that they must continuously work on. The next day, Bay and troops search for Blink and manage to track Grievous's footprints to a cave that turns out to be a nesting ground for some creatures under Grievous's control. A trap, some might say. They escape the nest just for Grievous to be waiting for them with the kaiju beasts. They manage to hold Grievous off and even free the beast with some EMPs. However, when Bay tries to take Grievous head on, he gets injured by the kaiju and the troops are forced to retreat with him. As Bay is recovering, Obi-Wan calls to ask for him to return to Covenant, as they need to stop a supply ship that the Separatists are sending. Obi-Wan, so how's it going over there? Bay, it's going great.
Don't worry about it. Got it all figured out.
Maximus, why'd you lie to him? Because he doesn't need to know.
Are you sure, boss?
Yeah, I'm going to send you guys. I'm going to stay here. That is, in fact, the plan. Bay decides to send the clones while he helps the people of Katu deal with Grievous, which also serves as a distraction for the clones' escape. Unfortunately, Grievous has already managed to sabotage their ship, so they will need to repair it before escaping. Bay makes one more attempt to appeal to the people of Katu to save their own planet before Grievous shows up with his beast. The Katuans do show up and manage to help hold the beast off while Grievous runs away, like the coward he is, to attack the clones before they can escape. Bay catches up, riding his own kaiju after using the Force to befriend it, because Jedi gonna Jedi. Mm-hmm. The clones manage to escape so they can stop the supply ship, and Bay sacrifices himself for the cause, while Grievous comes to the realization that he is the monster that every war needs. Dooku chastises him for letting the clones stop the supply ship, but accepts that Grievous has learned a lesson from all of this. This is a fun,
yeah, it's very fun.
You get some Grievous insight, stuff that we know, but it's still fun getting the Grievous insight now and then. I would like one day for us to get an origin story of Grievous proper, which is what I was kind of hoping this was, but it didn't end up being. It, in a way, is an origin story for Grievous. It's just not the origin story of Grievous. He's already like a commander who is now general by this point, because he is because I had to double check, because I was like, is this our earliest Grievous story? Yes and no. It's our earliest in the timeline of us actually seeing Grievous, but it's not the earliest that we know that Grievous was involved with the war, because the Brotherhood novel mentions him.
Mm-hmm.
I double-checked that. Because I was like, did Brotherhood mention him? I know that's the first time
Yeah.
Ventress shows up.
They do. They're like, oh yeah, he jumped like 4 of us.
Yeah, they basically gave a shortened version of the Genndy Tartakovsky version of Grievous's reveal, except he's a commander at that point still and not a general, because I think in the Tartakovsky's version he is a general when he shows up. Like, he's already General Grievous, whereas I think in Brotherhood he's still just a commander, because Bay mentions here, oh, you're a general now. So I'm like, okay, so we know about Grievous. He just wasn't a general yet.
Man, the first like 2 or 3 months of the Clone Wars must have been really weird, because you have people like Grievous and Ventress show up out of nowhere.
Yep. And then, of course, you have people thinking about switching sides already, because you have Barriss kind of already starting to, like, in the first few months, she's already like, no, we need to be helping people, not fighting this war. Pon Krell, I want to kill some motherfuckers. Which is why he switches sides.
Yeah. Fuck you, Pon Krell. I'm glad you died.
Yeah.
Fuck standing trial.
I think this is a good story. I'm hoping one day we get into more Grievous, but I'm not going to grade it off of that. I'm going to grade it for what it is. And for what it is, we get a good Jedi that I'm like, man, I knew your fate the moment you popped up on screen or on page, but, like, I want more of you, because you're basically, you're Anakin.
Yeah.
You're Anakin, except if Anakin actually took... You're Elzar! You're Elzar! You're Elzar! It's Elzar all over again! Let's be a little bit reckless, but also not so much so that we were a problem. It's Elzar!
Yep.
It's Elzar! It's Clone Wars Elzar!
Yeah, I getting introduced to General Bai, I was like, you're not gonna make it out of this comic, but good luck, man.
Yeah, like, this is a character I want to see more of. He's also a character that I very much think Anakin would have got along with, that I'm like, because I sent that into Discord, I'm like, man, this is a Jedi Master after Anakin's own heart, and then, yeah. I give this a solid 8. Kind of on the same track there.
Yeah.
It's a solid 8. It's not great to where I'm thinking 9 or 10, but it's still very solid. Hyperspace Stories comics tend to be. I don't think we've really been disappointed with the
I don't think I've ever
The only one you were upset with was Tides of Terror, and that was because the name.
Yeah.
You're like, the story itself is good. It's a case of my expectations versus the reality. And I think that's the only time you've been disappointed.
Yeah.
You haven't been like, this is bad, though.
I don't think I've had another, like, this one is a 4 moment.
Yeah, Hyperspace Stories tends to deliver. But, speaking of more comics, speaking of delivering for sure, we're going to dive into what is, honestly, at this point, I guess a classic Vader comic, Darth Vader 2017, also known as Darth Vader Dark Lord of the Sith. We're going to go into volumes 1 and 2. Spoilers ahead. And we'll give one more. That was a weak sauce one. There we go. We got a full one. I didn't want like, I want a full one. Give me the full. So jumping into this, we start off immediately where Revenge of the Sith left us off, with Vader's forced temper tantrum and Sidious punishing him for it, as well as teaching him that he needs to bleed a kyber crystal in order to create his new lightsaber as part of his Sith training. I was thinking about it on the car ride. This is the first time in canon this was introduced within the release order of things. So this is our first introduction to bleeding a kyber in canon. I think in general, because up to that point, difference between Legends and canon here. In Legends, Sith lightsabers, the reason that the crystals were red is because they're synthetic. Here it's because you bleed. I prefer the bleeding. I think it adds more to the Sith lore, personally.
I can see how both like work.
It's definitely a case of I get where the synthetic is coming from. It's the case of, ooh, it's unnatural, so therefore it's evil to the Force. I prefer this because this is more evil. This is just straight up.
Yeah.
We're making something that we know is living suffer for the sake of it. For the sake of aesthetics, really. Not even for like any other reason.
Fuck you, says the Sith.
So this yes. This will also not be the only thing that this comic will introduce into canon. I've already spoiled another one on the ride here. Another part of the Sith training that Vader puts together is as he and Sidious watch Mas Amedda burn the lightsabers of the Jedi who were purged during Order 66, including one of Yoda's lightsabers, in front of a crowd, is that he must take the lightsaber from a Jedi he's defeated in combat and bleed their crystal to form his saber. The burning of Yoda's lightsaber, funnily enough, has since created a situation where canon had to retcon and conclude that he owned at least 2 lightsabers at one point, as we already, by the time of this comic came out, knew that, thanks to a reference book, that Yoda has a lightsaber in his hut on Dagobah. Book of Boba Fett also confirms this when Luke offers Grogu Yoda's lightsaber. This was in fact corrected to him having at least 2 lightsabers by Crimson Reign. That says one of his lightsabers was destroyed, referring to this moment. So, and we talked about it on the car ride here. And we were like, well, maybe he's had 3 because training lightsaber that Kai has. So now maybe 3 Yoda lightsabers are out there. Which would then make it easier for a different story we haven't read yet. That's in because I don't think No, we did do the Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view book. The Sidious one, where he's talking about wanting to have been the one to kill Yoda and wanting to have his first lightsaber, so that way they could make it a trophy in his little trophy area now for Sithy stuff. And it's just like, well, wait, it can't be the one that they burned in this. So is it the one that Kai had? Because his training lightsaber would technically be Yoda's first lightsaber. Anyways.
Best part of the point of view book for that one is Yoda being like, you're gonna lose.
But yeah, so just some interesting out-of-universe stuff. Back in the story, though, Sidious brings Vader to a planet where a ship has been left for him to use to track down a Jedi, but oh no! It was stolen! What a dangerous galaxy that we are in. We really need a strong, firm fist to deal with that.
What a mild inconvenience for our protagonist.
But no, I love how Palpatine's just like, oh no, who could have ever seen this coming?
Vader, did you set this up?
Yeah.
Did you tell my ex-girlfriend to key my car?
Well, he only has one girlfriend.
That's the vibe I'm getting from a lot of the conversations between Vader and Palpatine.
Vader easily, though, tracks the ship that has been left for him to use to track down. He easily tracks it down to some small-time crooks that he dispatches with ease. Slavers, question mark? Which is funny that he knocks them out as they make that line. Because they go, man, we're making more than we would have in a year's worth of slaving. And then Darth Vader goes, box in the face. And I'm like, well timed.
So the 2 ways to read that is either A, they were slaves who got put up to this, or B, they are slavers.
I think B is correct, is the more correct, because it sounded like doing trade. Is they were saying like, oh, we make more selling the ship than...
If that's the case, maybe just stick to stealing ships.
Still a crime, but it's
less morally reprehensible.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit better about people stealing cars.
Is it stealing cars or stealing airplanes, really? Because like it's stealing a personal jet is really what they're doing. Because cars exist also, because they're land speeders.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's really just the, like, I stole some, like, billionaire's private jet.
Yeah, that's still better than the other option.
Yeah. And honestly, I would say probably more morally, like, maybe more morally ethical in this case, if we're equating it to being the same as stealing a billionaire's private jet.
It's a shame that you just happened to steal from me.
It's a shame you stole from Jeff Bezos. He now has missiles locked in.
Throughout this comic, there are times when Vader's like, I could send the transmission codes, but what if I styled on them really hard?
But yeah, so now to find a Jedi after a Jedi purge has been implemented. Well, Vader's actually very smart about this, weirdly enough. Not very Anakin, actually. This feels like an Obi-Wan plan. Vader wisely tracks down a Jedi station that clones are currently unhappily clearing out and taking inventory of. Not knowing who Vader is yet, and believing him to just be a Jedi survivor, which, to be fair, Vader doesn't tell them they're wrong right away. They fire at him, and all are killed by him, with him admitting at the end as he kills them, "Oh, by the way, no, I'm not a Jedi."
Wait, what?
Yeah. So this is just the Vader kills everyone series, by the way. Vader then uses the Jedi Station's computer to find information on any Jedi who took the Baresh vow before Order 66. Once again, the comic introduces something to canon that we see a lot more now, but this is the first time in canon that the Baresh vow was used as a thing. It also doesn't come from Legends, so this is completely wholesale original. We learn of a Jedi named Karak Infila, who took the vow even before the events of the Phantom Menace, who is known to be a fighter within the Order, currently on the river moon of Aldolam. We learn that while he has taken the vow, he has not stopped Infala from training with the assistance of Jedi training droid RX. Turns out that Infala knew Vader, or at least a dark side creature like Vader, would be coming for him, and set traps with RX's help for this day, including the actual beast of the planet. Gets a little assist from them. Vader proves himself enough against the traps that Infala decides to shut them down and take on the creature himself, officially ending his vow when he does. Because he goes, "Alright, I'm back to being a Jedi, I'm gonna rebuild. Because, fuck you, you made me come out of retirement."
Yep.
That's essentially the conversation. Yeah. RX attempts to distract Vader so that Infala can defeat him, but ends up sacrificing himself. Whoopsies. Thankfully, Infala manages to goad Vader and defeat him, sending the monster over the mountain's edge into the dried riverbed far down below. Falsely believing Vader to be dead, Infala goes to Ambalar City to make preparations to leave, as the citizens there have been hiding a ship, but it needs some maintenance before it can leave, with Infala's new goal being to restart the Jedi Order so they can defeat the Sith. Makes sense. Vader tracks down Infala, and feeling the Sith's presence, they have a duel on the dam, holding back the river's water from flooding the city. Knowing a Jedi is going to Jedi, Vader sends the local law enforcement over the edge, distracting Infala long enough for Vader to use the Force to break the dam's water system, and force Infala to try and stop that long enough that Vader is able to steal Infala's lightsaber and crush his neck with the Force, allowing the city to also flood. Whoopsies! Finish him, is what we just witnessed.
Yeah, we would.
We really just witnessed some Mortal Kombat. Fatality. Vader wins.
Oh, man.
With the lightsaber and crystal in hand, Sidious sends Vader to the planet of Mustafar to be where he forges his lightsaber and bleeds the crystal, as Mustafar is both a place of great dark side power, but will also serve as Vader's redemption for his loss to Obi-Wan there. Vader attempts to bleed it, only for the crystal to fight back, pushing him away. He then regrets it and returns to Sidious with the blade still green, leading to him and Sidious battling in the former Supreme Chancellor's office, where he kills Sidious. He then finds Obi-Wan, where he makes amends with his former Jedi Master. Wait, this is canon?
Let's not lie to the audience for longer.
Okay, yeah, it turns out that this is just merely a vision sent by the crystal to fight back against Vader. Vader instead pushes further into the bleeding process, causing a storm that creates destruction throughout the planet, while receiving more memories of his life and those that he's loved and lost. Meanwhile, actually on Coruscant, we get news that Tarkin's successfully moving forward with the Death Star, just before Vader arrives, making Sidious dismiss Tarkin and Mas Amedda. Vader reveals his bled lightsaber. Vader repairs himself from his fight with Infala and the bleeding process, and we learn that Vader has made personal adjustments to his armor. There is a mysterious intruder in the Jedi archives that Sidious sends Vader to investigate, an Utapau and Darksider, who is seeking the archive's secrets. Vader defeats him, and before he can strike the killing blow, Sidious stops him and reveals that his opponent is the Grand Inquisitor, and this was a test for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
If Vader lost, then he wasn't worthy of being his apprentice. Simple.
Sith doing Sith things
Yeah.
as usual.
Yeah, it's like, look, if this guy could kick your ass, then yeah, he's gonna be my apprentice. You suck. You killed your guy that was ahead of you. You took his head. Vader killed Dooku
Oh, yeah.
just before he was Vader. It's like, hey, you killed the guy you replaced. So if somebody else could kill you, then but this is also when Sidious decides to tell Vader about the Inquisitorius and how they are ex-Jedi who now serve the Sith to hunt the surviving Jedi from the Purges. We learn Grand Inquisitor joined in order to gain access to the Jedi Archive's deep secrets, as he felt the Jedi were holding his knowledge back. Now the Inquisitors serve Vader as well, and he is to be their teacher so they can hunt the survivors, which includes the Jedi librarian Jocasta Nu. Also important thing is they make it very clear that the Inquisitors are not Sith themselves. They serve the Sith but are not Sith, which is a very important distinction.
As usual, in my opinion, this is just more loophole abuse, but, it's fine.
It's a case of you're not really in the religion. Like, I don't think we have a religion where that's a good example, though, because most religions, if you're following the tenets, you are part of that religion. But, like, in this case, they're kind of following the Sith tenets. They just aren't allowed to have any of the secrets. It's like, nah, you don't get, like... It's like Scientology. It's got levels.
They're Scientologists.
The Inquisitors don't get to learn about the alien yet. They aren't high enough level where they get to know about the alien. But in that's still, once again, not a great comparison because, once again, you are still a Scientologist even if you're a lower level Scientologist. But also the Sith being a cult, also, that does make for a great comparison in that regard. No notes. Vader's first lesson for the Inquisitors is loss, as he removes a limb or more from each of them. I say I had to add or more because as I was writing this, I looked right at Ninth Sister and was like, oh, he just bisected her. He Darth Mulder, okay, I guess, or more. Because at first I was like, oh, she just lost her legs, because that's what we see in Jedi Survivor. No, or Jedi Fallen Order. No, whole, like, she is lying there writhing in pain as, like, if you look at the comic panel, when they show, like, the other Inquisitors as Grand Inquisitors, trying to argue for his fellow Inquisitors, You see that. But Vader calls out how the Jedi coddled them and taught them to fight to survive and not to kill.
You need more bloodlust.
Yeah. Look, y'all are weak because you're not going for the kill. You run away and go, hey, if we live, then that's a win. No. A win is killing. Vader's that dad at a baseball game where if you tied, he's mad. And he goes, you didn't try hard enough. You didn't win. And then Grand Inquisitor is the one crying afterwards, going, I did my best. And Vader's like, well, your best wasn't good enough. And there's no crying in baseball. I'm not wrong.
No, you're not. It's just that I'm like... Sometimes in media, there's sometimes when I'm like seeing...
You're now picturing like Vader driving the car home. Grand Inquisitor in the back in a baseball uniform crying. Baseball mitt in hand. Vader going, wait till your grandpa hears about this.
Oh no.
Grandpappy Sidious.
He's gonna be so mad.
You think I'm mad? Grandpappy Sidious gonna get the belt.
Oh.
Someone animate that. Someone animate that for me. I want that. I want to see that. Darth Vader also wearing dad glasses over the mask in this illustration. Anyways, moving back into the story before we get to... We're actually doing good on time, but before we mess that up... Vader then promises to eliminate any Inquisitor who doesn't show progress. Which Grand Inquisitor notes that the subtlety of that statement includes himself. Grand Inquisitor is like, I see you said anyone. Got it. I'm anyone.
Yeah, you are included in anyone, Mr. Grand Inquisitor. It's in the name.
Vader then says that they are to start working on the Emperor's priority survivors list to eliminate them. And we learn that they've had this list a while. And that Jocasta Nu has been the top of their priorities by order of the Emperor from the start. Which is very funny. Vader's like, oh, so you've had this list a while.
Mm-hmm. How many have you got?
None. The main priority's been this bitch.
Do you know where she is?
No.
No. We've looked. Haven't found her.
We, as the audience, though, then learn that with the help of a man named Gar, Jocasta Nu has been slowly rebuilding her own secret library for the future of the Jedi to find, so they can rebuild one day when the Empire is gone. Or even now. Kind of in secret. As she knows her time is short. Vader instructs Grand Inquisitor to search the archives for any clues to connections of where the Jedi could be hiding. Meanwhile, Grand Inquisitor laments to not ever being allowed to learn the deeper secrets and declaring how glad he'll be to be the one to kill Jocasta Nu. Jocasta Nu finishes her task of building her secret school, and now must return to Coruscant to get a list of potential students from the archives before the Sith can get it. Because what good is your Xavier Academy of Mutants without your Cerebro?
It's going to be a very empty school.
Yeah. So, Sidious explains to Vader why Jocasta Nu is so dangerous, while she is sneaking throughout Coruscant. It's because of her knowledge. Not just Jedi knowledge, but knowledge of the Sith, as the archives held everything light and dark in it that the Jedi could get their hands on. Sidious also makes it...
Vader, are you familiar with the expression knowledge is power?
She may not have been powerful with the Force or with lightsabers.
She knows shit.
And that is deadly enough. Sidious also makes it clear that the objective is to capture her alive, as he does seek the well-hidden list of potential students. But the Inquisitors are not to know the true goal. They are merely a tool for the Sith to help track her down, and are not Sith themselves, so should not know Sith secrets. Better example. They're your pet hunting dogs. Like, you can consider them part of the family, but they're not, like, literally part of the family. I think that's a better one. So, yeah. That also makes sense because the Grand Inquisitors are just hunting dogs that are sent out. The Inquisitors in general are just like, hunt this person.
Flush them out.
Yep. Just as Jocasta Nu makes it to the Jedi Temple, the Empire has found her ship and droid. Thankfully, they already planned for that, with her droid in the ship self-destructing as the clones entered where she was parked, killing them. Jocasta sees Grand Inquisitor searching the library and senses her for a second, but figures it's nothing as she pushes on with her mission, although she is very frustrated seeing him clawing through her books.
Motherfucker's touching my books. Important shit.
Yeah. Jocasta, the missions and an ISB officer find a clue that the explosive possibly belonged to a Jedi, with the new directive call it in to be safe, and that report goes to the now officially in charge, Darth Vader, who only, as of like maybe that day, became officially part of the chain of command. Jocasta gets into the secret library where we get to see it for the first time in canon.
We suspect a Rhydonium bomb, sir. Vader. Oh yeah? Do you?
Oh, we don't get to that yet.
Oh.
In a second. Plenty of Sith... don't worry, we're getting there. Plenty of Sith holocrons and other dark side artifacts, one of which we'll see later in the Vader 2017 series, as well as in other comics. The ISB officer tells Vader, here it is, of the current theory, that the ship was a bomb. Like, it wasn't a ship, it was a bomb. That was meant for a more target-rich location, but was set off prematurely when they were caught, and that the Jedi insignia is just graffiti to rabble-rouse. Vader tells the officer to his face that he's wrong. As the officer tries to put Vader in his place, instead, Vader Uno reverses that, using the Force to rebuild Jocasta's ship and droid, and prove that the Jedi is loose on Coruscant.
It would be... I know that no one in Star Wars would talk this way. Hey, you want to see something cool that...
It's very funny, though. The ISB officer's like, look here, I'm in charge. And Vader's like, no. I'm in charge.
Oh my god, I just realized a comparison we can make.
For the ISB and Vader, or?
Yeah, for this situation. How'd you how did you do that with the telescope, Max?
We've been on the Discord server, we've been every other week we've been playing Life is Strange Double Exposure, and I thought
it really is. What do you mean the telescope unmade itself?
And was perfectly boxed again, like I just bought it again.
What do you mean you rebuilt the ship?
So Vader orders them to look for her, but the temple is off limits for them, as he plans to search there himself, trying to ensure that if Jocasta is there, he's first.
Mm-hmm.
Jocasta retrieves the list of every current known Force-sensitive child, and is about to leave when she can't help but deal with Grand Inquisitor, who is callously reading the archive files. He straight up just calls one drivel as he tosses it like it's not ancient history that he's just tossing. Like, it's like you got that old ratty book that you really should be taking care of, but instead, Grand Inquisitor's just going...
It's in this moment where I was like, Jocasta, you didn't have to, like, jump in front of him. You had a good angle right
you were behind. You were above him. You were behind him. You had the high ground.
You could have performed a drop assassination on him.
Yeah, it's over, Grand Inquisitor. Jocasta has the high ground.
Yeah. But instead, no, you were like, get your fucking hands off my book.
I think it's the principle.
It's the principle. However, come on, Jocasta. We've seen you're already using other tactics that I don't think most Jedi would consider.
The other reason is we know by the time this comic comes out, we already know that Grand Inquisitor has to survive this because the Rebel show already exists at this point.
Yeah, I get, because Rebels came out 2014?
2014, 2015, something like that. Because the very first canon novel is a tie-in to that, because it's the introduction of Kanan as a character. Which, yeah, 2014, first, yeah.
Yeah, and this one comes out in 2017.
Yeah.
You're saved by canon, Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, you got saved by the fact that you still have to live a few more years.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same situation with Obi-Wan, where everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Reva killed Obi-Wan," and then the next episode we're like, "No, she got a vital spot, but he's good." Because remember, she stabs him, and everybody thought he died.
Reva stabs him?
Or did somebody else? Obi-Wan didn't. Yeah, it's like in one of the earlier... I think Reva, it's been a minute since we've watched Obi-Wan. I gotta rewatch Obi-Wan again.
I know that, like...
Somebody stabs him, because because it's in the first episode.
Oh, no, Reva doesn't stab... Obi-Wan stabs the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh, Obi-Wan does?
No, Reva stabs the Grand Inquisitor
Yeah,
in the back.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the moment I'm talking about.
It's also not your fault. Kenobi is the name of the show. I got confused because of that.
In the show, when Reva stabs
the Grand Inquisitor in the back.
Yes. Everybody was like, because that show takes place before Rebels as well. Because Leia's already like a teenager by the time Rebels, like, she's the same age. Luke, Ezra, and Leia are all the same age. They were all born on the very first, when the Empire starts. Poor Ezra. His birthday is Empire Day. But so is Luke and Leia's.
It's alright.
Um,
Truly the greatest tragedy, having to share your birthday with a holiday.
a holiday that's the start of a fascist government.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoops.
But yeah. So yeah, everybody freaked out about that. Then this would be a situation like, yeah, we're good. They know what they're doing. But yeah, so just as Grand Inquisitor is, so yeah. So where did I leave that? Yeah, Vader arrives at the temple as it is fully guarded now by the clones that are specifically under the Emperor's command, as they are left outside to ensure nobody gets in or out, because these are the Emperor's ones, because these are the red ones, like my least favorite commander, Commander Fox.
Is it not Commander Wolf?
No, Fox. Fox is the bitch that hunts down Ahsoka, and is also the one that hunts down...
Is Wolf with Plo Koon?
Yeah, Wolf is Plo Koon's, because that's the Wolf Pack. Fox is the one that's... that is the reason Fives is dead.
I see.
Fuck Fox. He's also the one that's like, I'm gonna get Ahsoka when she's on the run. Yeah. Fuck Commander Fox. Me and my homies hate Commander Fox. He's a bootlicker. Anyways. Meanwhile, Jocasta has no recognition of the Grand Inquisitor, which I find funny personally. But she's even more enraged that he's a traitor who deserves the knowledge he desired even less than when she was the one denying it to him.
Before I was a little pissed off at you, now I'm extremely pissed off.
Like, before, yeah, you didn't deserve it. Now you really don't deserve it. Unfortunately, though, just as the Grand Inquisitor is going to achieve his dream of striking down Jocasta, because, yes, she was extremely easy to beat, which means Jocasta, this was a really dumb decision, because you have a very important list on your hands. That if... It's very funny. Mm-hmm. It's it's Palpatine's own fault that he doesn't get this list.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because Vader intervenes, allowing her a chance to distract both of them and a chance to run as they're infighting. Which means, if Palpatine didn't tell Vader, hey, we gotta bring Jocasta in alive, Grand Inquisitor would have killed Jocasta, Grand Inquisitor would have found the list on Jocasta's body, would have delivered it to Palpatine so that way he can get a little promotion. And then Palpatine would have got the list. Palpatine stood in his own fucking way.
This is some us going over and like, oh fuck, he needs the Republic to actually win.
Yeah, like this is a case of Grand Inquisitor should have, like, if he had let that like if he didn't tell Vader, no, Jocasta must live, he would have got it. Because Grand Inquisitor has no qualms giving it to Palpatine.
Yeah.
Whereas Vader's a little more wishy-washy on that stuff. Especially once Jocasta gets in his head. But, like, whereas Grand Inquisitor has no... He's got no moral compass at this point. Yeah. It's gone.
Meanwhile, I do like the conversation that Vader has really quick. He's like, so you commanded the people here during Order 66, right?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah? Okay, cool. You understand how dangerous those Jedi traitors are, right? If you see one, get them.
Yeah. But yeah, so, where was I in? Yeah, knowing immediately that Vader is a true Sith and what he wants, Jocasta pulls the switch to purge every piece of knowledge in the archives rather than let the Sith get their hands on it, which is a interesting way of canonizing this event, because in Legends you get to live that moment in Battlefront 2, the original one, in the campaign for that. Because in the original Battlefront 2, the Jedi are actively stopping or like destroying the archives during the events of Order 6 during Nightfall, when Anakin and the clone troopers come in to kill the Jedi at the temple before he's burnt to a crisp. So during that moment, you have to stop. You have to save as much of the archives as you can, and really, you just have to at least save one stack to make it onto the next objective. But it is interesting how they were like, yeah, what's a canon way for that to happen? Oh, Jocasta Nu comes in and just flips a switch and turns everything, just destroys it.
Fuck you, your library card is revoked forever.
To be fair, it's a case of, do I let all of this knowledge that's very important to me, am I more concerned about losing that forever, or am I more concerned that bad people are going to get their hands on it? That's the choice she is given. Meanwhile, the droid protector of the deeper vaults is able to identify Vader as Skywalker and manages to catch his lightsaber when attacked, but ultimately is crushed by the Force while Jocasta gets a weapon of her own to deal with the Sith. Very funnily enough, this droid is the only one to acknowledge Skywalker as Master Skywalker. That's not true. The kid also does. Before Anakin.
The one thing Anakin does not want to hear ever.
Master Skywalker!
Did he perform a fatality on this droid as well?
Yes, he crushes him with the power of the Force. He just
okay,
crumples him. Because he tries to do a lightsaber throw at him. Droid goes, nah, I know how that works. And then Vader's like,
yeah,
what about
do you
this?
know about this? For some reason, my brain thinks that, like, Anakin fucking, like, used his... just punched through him. Even though...
Oh, yeah, he did punch through him first. Because he used the Force to kind of... Yeah. And then he crushes him into a ball. So, yeah, he got fatality'd. Because that droid was like, I've been trained in the knowledge of the Jedi. You don't think I know lightsaber combat?
I don't think you need to say that to crash out Skywalker over here.
But hey, we get a really cool weapon now because we get a lightsaber-powered blaster. Sniper rifle, really, the way it acts. Unfortunately, it only allows a few shots before melting the lightsaber that powered it, so she overloads it and tries to blow up Vader with it, only causing a hole to exist in the side of the temple and force the clones to investigate as Jocasta uses the hole as a possible escape. All I can think of is the I forget what movie or show it was. It's where they got like a bomb and they're passing it around, and they're like, "No, thank you. No, it's yours." You know what I'm talking about. It's just that with Vader and Jocasta, because Jocasta tosses it, and then Vader tries to force push it away because he's like, "Nuh-uh," and it doesn't even make it to it makes it to about the middle of them before. Hold on. I know they say that. I'm trying to think of Lilo and Stitch. It's when funny enough, it's also a gun that's blowing up. Because it's when Stitch jams Jumba's gun. And then Jumba's like, "Here you go." And Stitch is like, "No, this is yours." Merry Christmas. It's not Christmas. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. Basically, that happens with Vader and Jocasta. But a little faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jocasta's escaping, and so the clone troopers see this and start shooting at her. Unfortunately, the clones also foolishly believe Vader is also a Jedi, as they only see him from a distance, and fire at him while he's exiting the temple to chase Jocasta.
Which leads to a conversation between the clone commander and the rest of it.
Yeah.
He's like,
on one hand, thankfully, the commander is able to quickly realize the error and calls off the firing at him. Unfortunately for him, though, as you were saying.
a little late for some of those guys.
Yeah, no, a little late for that commander, in fact. It's too late, and the mistake costs that commander his life in the eyes of Vader. Vader just goes, "Not even a thanks for your apologies, Commander." Nope, me just...
Then we have this.
Yeah, Vader manages...
Also, Jocasta attempts to kill herself so that
Yeah,
Vader doesn't...
Vader manages to order the clones to bring her in alive, and as Jocasta tries to yeet herself, she just wanted to get to Coruscant level 1313 faster.
Man, you know, Jocasta, you sure did use a lot of explosives. Maybe keep one on you next time.
Yeah. But they are able to get the memory crystal with the list from her. Jocasta finds it amusing that Vader doesn't truly understand his own mission. Because, yeah, they're like... She's like, "Hey, you know this is so that way he can replace you, right?" He's like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, that's how the Sith fucking work." And meanwhile...
All the time fighting them, I figured you'd learn what they were about by now.
And then, yeah, and then this clone's like, "Hey, we can shut her up if you want us to. We don't need to listen to her lie, these Jedi lies." And she's like, "Oh, Jedi, funny you say that. Look next to you. That's Anakin Skywalker." And the clones give him the most awkward, like, "Oh shit."
Oh, fuck.
Like, it's a, what do we do here? Because we learn later in this series, the chips are still active. So learning that he is in fact a Jedi overrides their own knowledge.
Wait, why was Anakin exempt from it?
Oh, no.
past
You're
that?
right. No. He is exempt from the chips. There's something else that happens later in the comics that makes it to where he's not exempt.
Okay.
There's something else that happens because somebody does something. Sorry, in this case, no. I think the awkwardness is, oh, I don't want anybody knowing who I am. So, yeah, thanks to...
I love the panel right next to it.
the ah!
Yeah.
Him tossing him out of the little ship, and then Vader's like, "This is your fault. I killed them because of you." It's like that's not how that. Okay. Sorry, I'm double checking stuff. And so, at the same time, Jacasa's like, they chose what they wanted to. And so, Vader decides of his own accord, yeah, I'm killing this. I'm killing her. We're done. We're done.
To hell with this old lady.
And so he's like, hey, Master, she killed herself in the attempt to escape. Palpatine's like, unfortunate. Too bad. We will never get that list.
Damn.
And Vader's like, yeah, I didn't learn anything. Oh, well. Bye, Rocco. Essentially.
Yep.
Meanwhile, back at Jacasa's little secret library, we see that, hey, it's safe. Because Mr. Gars decides to lock her up by blowing up the secret waterfall entrance and making sure nobody can get to it. Until decades later, when Luke Skywalker finds it.
Does he look so haggard in that panel?
I think he's supposed to be a master of that. I don't know when that epilogue is supposed to take place for that. Let me double check. We don't actually know when that part takes place, I think. Yeah, it just says, yeah, we just got years later. We just got random amount of time later. We don't got actual date for that. But yeah, so number 11. Now we kind of go into a shorter storyline. We're following the Inquisitors. Do you want to kind of cover that one? I'll let you kind of take lead on that one.
So basically, long and short, Sidious is playing the I'm gonna test you again, as he always does. In this instance, setting Vader up to get ambushed by regular guys.
Yep.
It doesn't work. It's a good plan, but it doesn't work. At the end of it, the bounty hunters are like, well, we don't know quite what was going on. Also, Ninth Sister is there. They don't do anything.
Yeah, they kind of just they're like, hey, you're strong, you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You got this.
They kind of just let Vader do his own thing, because what are they gonna do? Be like, no, don't do your own thing?
Yeah. And then like in the final issue for this for volume 2, we finally get the importance of that helmet. As when Vader and Ninth Sister are returning, they get shot down, but it's okay. Vader manages to save them, and Vader's kind of like done with this, and he's like, okay, Palpatine, we gotta talk.
Look, I'm tired of our own guys shooting at me in this infighting bullshit.
Yeah. But also, hey, you need to do a little bit more self-reflection. And it's like, why don't people want to work for you? Why are they trying to kill you? It's because they don't fear me. They don't know that I'm powerful.
Mhm.
And you don't let me kill people, because earlier conversation that I cut out of the synopsis up to this point was they had a conversation earlier where Vader immediately struck down one of the officers.
Oh yeah, he choked a guy out in the office.
Yeah, right in the former Supreme Chancellor office. Now I guess the Emperor's office.
Mhm.
Not a throne room, but an office. He doesn't get a throne room until Death Star.
Hilariously. He does strike me as a throne room type guy, but I guess a business office works just as well.
Yeah, I guess he's
I do think
he's used to it
scheduling
at
a
this point.
meeting with the Emperor works.
You got to go through Masamita and Sly Moore.
Yeah, I'm sure they give you a fucking runaround.
Yeah,
for like
they'll
a day
definitely.
or
Yeah,
two.
Masamita is very much a bureaucrat guy, right? Like he's definitely putting you through the bureaucracy of it all.
Who's worse, Masamita or the Patriarchs of Baldur's Gate when it comes to bureaucracy?
Probably an even split there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had a conversation where Palpatine's like, "Look, yeah, it's good to feel the dark side and anger and all that, but I don't want to rule over a galaxy of dead. So can we not kill everybody?" And Vader's like, "Hey, they don't fear me because you won't let me go full on them. You're holding me back, figuratively speaking."
Give me a few to make an example out of.
And Palpatine's like, "Yeah, whoever you want, except Tarkin. I need him." And he's like, "All right,
I
cool."
can work with that.
And so they have a nice little speech.
All right, time for the evil school assembly
Yeah.
of evilness.
So in the Empire, are you more or less excited for a for an assembly than you would be for like a school assembly? Because I remember in like high school, people were excited about school assemblies not because we really cared about the thing that the assembly was about, but because you got to not be in class. So is that you're not dealing with having to hunt people down? So at least you're in an assembly. Or are you after this one? Are you aware that what can go down is not great in these, and you'd rather be risking your life against some rebel than your boss?
I feel like it's more of a case of like, fuck, why are we doing this today?
Oh, it's more of a collective, it's more of being in class and having a collective punishment moment.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I didn't fuck up. Jimmy fucked up. Why are we all here for Jimmy's fuck up?
Mm-hmm. Some of us have other classes we have to go to.
The bell has rung. We need to go to our next class. Deal with Jimmy on Jimmy's time.
No. As a matter of fact.
As a matter of fact, no, 5 of you are going to be dealt with.
What do you mean?
And so, yeah, Vader just randomly picks 5, and I literally think there was not a rhyme or reason. He just picked 5 and said, "Bye."
Yeah. Either that, right? Or it's the no, because Palpatine plotted that. I know there were other people planning to plot, but Vader doesn't strike me as the type to.
He doesn't concern himself with,
yeah,
unless it's really bad. But if it's like within the Imperial structure, he's like, "Yeah, I can probably kill that guy." Like, I think some of them were on that list of people who were involved with, because Palpatine and him do have that discussion of some people are trying to have you killed, and so I think some of them were that. But I think the way we see it, the way it's presented is, nope, these are just randoms.
yeah.
Because he's just like, "Hey, can I pick 5 to make an example of?" Any 5, just not Tarkin.
I need him.
Because the fact that he calls out not Tarkin tells me that it was just a random 5. Like, if he didn't call out Tarkin, who knows what would have happened. Vader might have taken him out, too.
And, Tarkin, Sloane, Danik.
Gallius Rex. Oh, wait, I don't know about him. He's hiding out on Jakku.
And I guess, 4th row section E.
Yeah, that guy. Well, Sloane is not high enough in the chain of command yet. We actually get to watch her rise to power as we.
Wait, I did not actually try. Was that someone important?
Yeah, Ray Sloane is the one that helps initiate the First Order. Remember?
No.
During the Battle of Jakku.
I just picked a random name.
Battle of Jakku. She's like one of the other. She's like one of the people that's true to the Empire, and is like pissed off at Adelhard and his bullshit.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, we'll get more of her anyways. We'll get into her when we get to next season.
Yeah.
We get to watch her rise. We get to watch her from cadet all the way to Grand Admiral.
Shit.
But no, and then lastly, within this comic, we get a little ha-ha comic. We get a little short, which is just Vader getting pissed off at people for failing him over and over, and him force choking them as a little mouse droid watches this and tries to give Vader a nice little bubble bath, essentially, but in the, like, little meditation chamber. Tries to set up his meditation chamber correctly. Unfortunately, it bumps into Vader's leg, and Vader's like, you finally failed me. Like he was waiting to have a reason. He's like, and that mouse droid was my 13th reason.
To kill someone today.
Not to do it to myself, do it to someone else.
That's always there.
Yeah. I think overall, Darth Vader 2017 is a 9, and it's only going to stay at a 9. It might, honestly, with Volume 2, it might hit a 10, or Volume 3 and 4, it'll hit a 10, but for at least Volumes 1 and 2, it's a 9. It's a solid 9.
So far, from what I've seen, I'm giving it a high 8.
That's a fair evaluation. With that is it. So, thank you all for watching today's episode of Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. If you really like our content, you can check out our Patreon, which is Escape Reality Films. Shout out to Jennifer Brantley.
Yeah.
You can also support us by becoming a member of our YouTube channel. Shout out to Pixie Nixie and her shared channel with Zach, the Goof Goblins.
Yes.
Both the Patreon and YouTube memberships give you access to our content before they're released publicly on YouTube, as well as other extra goodies, including pages from my new comic book, Super Worlds, with amazing art by M Arts, where I have been adapting the short story Shadows of the Night from my Super Universe short story collection. We got to see our first full-on alien design in the last page that came out during this week.
Cool.
Yeah, you get to see stuff that others don't, but also I made tokens out of them that I think everybody has access to if you're in the Discord. Because I was like, I should make some cool RPG tokens out of these. So Shadow has an RPG token now, and so does the Arachnosian. We got to see an Arachnosian for the first time. Terrifying.
Yep.
Terrifying.
I'm glad that one of... No, I'm not going to say that because it makes it sound really bad. I didn't realize how big Arachnosians were compared...
They're human size.
Yeah. It makes the events of the first, little short story that I've written very humorous.
Well, hey, we haven't published it. We can always circle back.
Mm-hmm.
We can always rewrite.
No,
I think I had their heights listed somewhere at some point, like their average heights. Oh, well. Meh. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else on the schedule right now. Yeah, next week's going to be easy. We're doing a TV show.
Okay.
We're doing Bad Batch Season 1, because we've done Seasons 2 and 3, not Season 1.
Because I always have to do things in this fucking whack-ass watch order.
It's just because things come out, and so I'm like, well, we must jump onto a thing that came out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have been also keeping up with Darth Maul, so that's going to be the week after. So because I was looking, I was like, are we going to be able to do both shows at the same time? That would be cool, but no, because we're at the halfway point of the show, or past the halfway point now. Final episodes air Star Wars Day, I believe. I want to say so, like in 2 weeks. I want to say it's they. I want to say they scheduled it just perfectly, so Star Wars Day is the last episodes. Yes, so on Monday, yeah, on that Monday, so May 4th, because they've been doing 2 episodes a week. So we just got to catch you up and maybe rewatch the first couple because you weren't able to get everything when we watched them together.
Yeah, but I got the overall.
Do you want to just jump today and watch 5 and 6 then?
Good.
Yeah, keep you on track. That way, because since
like if we don't
that way we don't have to wait a week to talk about it. We can talk about it that Star Wars Day week rather than going, we're gonna wait a week and then we're the only ones not talking about the finale for Shadow Lord. It's the same thing we're gonna do for, because I've already talked to Seth about this. Mandalorian and Grogu that week. Friday we're watching it. Saturday you get the podcast episode of us talking about it. I might decide to watch it ahead of you though on Thursday because my Star Wars Unlimited group is talking about going Thursday to a Thursday showing, so I might see it twice. That just means you don't have to be in my Movie Monday video because I'll do it after the Thursday viewing because that's going to be the Movie Monday movie for that week for sure. Let me make sure things. Yeah. There will be another upcoming, before we wrap up, there will be one more week that we will have to pre-record. And that will be the 16th.
Okay.
And that one's just in Star Wars Insider short story and the new audio book, the Audible original one, Terror on Mustafar. So easy. Reason for that is I'm deciding to go have some fun. I'm gonna go to Pickle Fest in Pensacola that week. So free event, food. I'm down. I'm not a big pickle guy, but there's wings also. I like fried pickles. That's about it. Anyways, I lost track. Oh, yeah. If you'd like to be a part of our community, you can also check out our Discord, which is linked wherever you're watching. I got distracted starting from the Super World stuff. Speaking of some friends of ours, though.
Every other Sunday from 5 to 7 Central Standard Time, you can catch some friends of ours over at Trials of Naboo every other Sunday. Oh boy, they are having a time, and I've done a devious thing. I asked Keontae as a favor to me about 4 months ago to basically have them fight a Bloodborne hunter as an enemy.
You would.
As it turns out, Kiari's character, Mana's, made the brilliant decision of going after that guy while there are 6 other people there to help that hunter. Mana is holding his own, but the rest of the party is also having their own fight right now.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do it.
Fortunately, they're not that far away from each other. So, we're seeing how that works out. And I'm also thinking of rejoining that campaign. Been working with Keontae to iron some stuff out.
Hey, that'll be nice.
Yeah. Since they don't have me on the weekends as much.
Yeah.
Up at the shop.
All right, well. Once again, thank you all for watching. Join us next week where Seth and I will discuss The Bad Batch, Season 1. I've spoken.
Y'all be safe out there.
Bye.